Avian legacy. Why birds are living dinosaurs. Imagine, just for a moment, a massive scientific paradigm shift. A revelation so profound that it literally rewrites the history of our planet and changes the way you look at the natural world every single day. We've long been told this story, right? A story of an ancient world ruled by terrifying, towering monsters. A world that abruptly ended millions of years ago, leaving absolutely nothing behind but dust and bones. But the truth, well, the truth is far more extraordinary than that. Welcome to this explainer. I need you to prepare to unlearn everything you thought you knew about the ancient rulers of Earth.
What if I told you the dinosaurs are not extinct? Take a second to really let that sink in. I don't mean they exist in some hidden underground world or in a secret top-level laboratory. I mean that right now, outside your window, walking around in your garden, or maybe just scavenging for crumbs on a city sidewalk, dinosaurs are still alive. That pigeon you pass by on the street? It is a dinosaur. That chicken nugget you might eat for lunch? Yeah, that's a dinosaur too. The wildest part of this whole scientific revelation is that scientists don't just believe birds are related to dinosaurs. Birds literally are dinosaurs. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the big mistake. The giant lizard myth. You see, for generations, society held on to a very specific and honestly entirely wrong picture of what these creatures actually were. We all grew up with this myth. We imagined dinosaurs as these giant, cold-blooded, slow-moving reptiles. We pictured them as scaly, sluggish beasts just dragging their heavy tails through prehistoric swamps. Basically, we thought of them as giant, overgrown lizards. But as scientists kept digging, they started discovering something really strange. When examining the skeletons of terrifying predators like the Velociraptor, researchers completely dismantled that giant lizard myth. They found hollow bones, they found highly flexible wrists, they found distinctly bird-like hips, and these sharp, grasping claws. The actual architecture of these ancient killers wasn't lizard-like at all. It was unmistakably bird-like.
And then came the discovery that changed absolutely everything. Fossilized feathers. We're talking about real, preserved feathers found directly attached to dinosaur fossils. Suddenly, that entire picture of the prehistoric world was just shattered. Dinosaurs weren't just giant lizards. Many of them looked much more like giant, lethal birds.
Section 2. The theropod family tree. Tracing the lineage. To understand exactly how we get from a terrifying apex predator to a modern pigeon, we have to take a look at the family tree. Scientists carefully trace the evolution of birds back to a very specific, formidable group of dinosaurs known as theropods. These were the two-legged, meat-eating dinosaurs. And this isn't just some obscure evolutionary offshoot either. This is the exact same family that includes the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex and the lethal Velociraptor.
This means a tiny little sparrow and a towering T-Rex are distant cousins. And I don't mean that in a cute metaphorical sense. Birds are technically, biologically, and literally the last surviving lineage of dinosaurs on Earth. In fact, scientists now use a specific classification for modern birds. Avian dinosaurs. The massive giants that died out, those are simply called non-avian dinosaurs. Extinction, you see, didn't completely happen. One dinosaur family survived, they adapted, and they evolved, right into the birds we see today.
Section 3, the chicken and the T-Rex. A shocking connection. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is where this evolutionary lineage leads us today. We're looking at a shockingly close connection between the absolute apex predator of the ancient world and the modern chicken.
I know it sounds completely absurd, but some researchers have actually nicknamed the chicken the modern T-Rex. Let's look at the evidence here, almost like a detective examining a crime scene. Both the chicken and the T-Rex possess wishbones. Both have hollow bones, perfectly designed for efficiency. They both have three-toed feet, and if you look really closely at a chicken's legs, you will see prehistoric scales. But it goes way deeper than anatomy. They have incredibly similar egg structures. And their behavior? Fossilized dinosaurs have been discovered in the exact same protective, brooding posture over their nests as a modern bird sleeping on its eggs.
And if you need even more proof, scientists actually discovered preserved proteins deep inside T-Rex fossils. When they analyzed these ancient proteins, they were astonishingly similar to those found in modern chickens. So the next time you sit down for a meal, imagine telling someone, hey, you just ate dinosaur for dinner. Because structurally, genetically, and technically, chicken is dinosaur meat.
Section 4. The Feather Revolution. Beyond scales. We really have to let go of those Hollywood images. For decades, movies confidently showed us dinosaurs covered head to toe in thick, leathery scales. But the scientific reality is far more textured and, honestly, far more fascinating. Many dinosaurs were adorned with feathers, and not just a few sparse, weird quills either. We are talking about dense, fluffy coats, incredibly colorful patterns, and long wing-like arms. Take the Microraptor, for example, a dinosaur that actually boasted 4 fully feathered wings. No way, right?
Let's move to and see how this builds, because flight wasn't actually the original goal here. Feathers first evolved as a survival tool. In step 1, dinosaurs grew feathers for warmth, to camouflage themselves in the deep forests, to attract mates, and to show off these intimidating visual displays. It was only later in step 2 that some of these smaller feathered dinosaurs realized these elaborate coats could help them glide from tree to tree. Finally, in step 3, over millions and millions of years of refinement, true powered flight developed and the very first true birds appeared in the prehistoric skies.
Section 5. The day the world ended. Surviving the asteroid. But then, 66 million years ago, the sky fell. A giant asteroid slammed into the Earth with unimaginable, world-ending force. The impact triggered a global apocalypse, mega tsunamis towering into the sky, catastrophic earthquakes, continents totally consumed by giant fires, and a thick, choking veil of ash that plunged the entire planet into darkness. The age of the giants was over. Most dinosaurs were completely wiped out.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how the thread of dinosaur life managed to survive that apocalyptic timeline. The large, heavy, non-avian dinosaurs at point 1 perished because they required massive amounts of food and just could not escape the environmental collapse. But at point 2, the small, flying, feathered dinosaurs had a critical advantage. They were small. They could fly away from immediate danger. They could hide in small crevices. Most importantly, their small bodies needed far less food to survive the long, dark global winter. It was these tiny, adaptable survivors that persevered, eventually evolving at point 3 into the breathtaking diversity of modern birds we see today. Section 6. Modern-day dinosaurs, prehistoric pets. Once you understand this explainer, I promise you can never look at everyday birds the exact same way again. I really want you to completely reframe your perspective here. When you look up and see an eagle soaring, you are watching a tiny, highly efficient flying dinosaur. That pigeon strutting around the park, that's a highly adapted city dinosaur. And an ostrich running across the plains, it carries the exact, undeniable energy of a modern velociraptor.
If you want to look a real, living dinosaur right in the eye, well, you look at the cassowary. Many scientists consider these to be among the absolutely closest-looking modern dinosaurs alive today. They possess razor-sharp, dagger-like claws, fully capable of lethal force. They have tough, scaly skin on their legs. If you look into their deep, prehistoric eyes and watch their heavy, deliberate, dinosaur-like movements, suddenly birds don't seem so harmless and cute anymore. They are ancient and they are formidable.
Section 7. Ancient Blueprints, Bringing Dinosaur Traits Back. Now, what I am about to tell you sounds like it was ripped straight out of a science fiction novel, but it is pure, documented science. Because birds are the direct descendants of dinosaurs, they still carry ancient dinosaur DNA blueprints hidden deep, deep inside their genetic code. The past isn't entirely gone, you see. It's simply dormant.
To prove this, scientists have actually conducted experiments activating these ancient traits, and the results are staggering. By manipulating specific genes in ordinary chicken embryos, researchers have successfully triggered the growth of longer, reptilian tails. They've activated the development of distinctly clawed wings. They've even managed to stimulate the growth of dinosaur-like snouts instead of modern beaks. Now, to be clear, no living, breathing Jurassic dinosaurs were brought into the world. But these experiments definitively prove that the ancient blueprints are still there, quietly waiting inside the genes of every single bird on Earth. So the crucial point is this. The age of dinosaurs never completely ended. It simply transformed. The terrifying massive monsters of the ancient world didn't vanish into nothingness. They adapted, they shrank, they evolved. The beasts that once shook the earth with their footsteps eventually gave way to the silent glide of hawks, the nocturnal hunt of owls, the aquatic agility of penguins, the vibrant colors of parrots, and the familiar clucking of chickens. Dinosaurs didn't disappear. They learned to fly.
The next time you step outside, take a moment to really listen. The chirps, the calls, the songs echoing from the trees, you are quite literally listening to the voices of dinosaurs. They survived the end of the world and they are all around us.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to ponder. Knowing what you know now, that the legacy of the dinosaurs is still breathing, still flying, still living, what modern bird do you think looks the most prehistoric? Keep your eyes open. A distant cousin of the T-Rex might just be pecking at seeds in your backyard right now.